get started, I should have the board and the officers in here, and I should have the candidates outside. Okay? Good afternoon. I'm Gloria Hodgert, President of the Fairfield Harbour POA Board of Directors. I'd like to welcome our viewers and attendees to today's program to announce the results of the 2020 election of directors for the Fairfield Harbour POA. As with many things this year, we have been learning to adapt to a new normal as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic. The need for social distancing is a requirement, and restrictions on the size of group meetings as well. Today's program is just such an adaptation. Normally, we would have been gathered together at the annual meeting to hear the election outcome. But today, we're recording the events, which will be uploaded to a private YouTube channel for our community members to view independently. With us today, we have current board members Dan Engelhaupt, Cindy Pellegrini, Bob Martin, Maury Thompson, and Mitch Meminger and Bruce Heist are not in attendance presently. We also have our Secretary, Peggy Gilbert, and our Treasurer, Marty Rosen, and our Community Manager, Jennifer Gadeas. There are 3 positions on the board up for election this year, and joining us today we have the candidates seeking one of those seats on the Board of Directors. With us today is Irving Joffee, Devine Lutz, Jim Rosania, Richard Wolf. Candidates not present are Craig Myler and Jeff Paul. Also serving as videographer is Al Ashauer. And the man of the evening is Tom Monty, CPA with the firm of Carr, Riggs & Ingram, who collects tallies and will present the results of the 2020 POA election of directors. To facilitate the new normal, Mitch Meminger, our director, has just arrived. To facilitate the new normal, we will be moving in and out of this space to accommodate whichever group needs to be present and to be in compliance with current restrictions on group meetings. So without further ado, I'd like to begin the business portion of the meeting by stating that all property owners were sent a mail-in ballot for the election. According to our bylaws and specific only to the election of directors, while all owners are entitled to cast a ballot, only owners in good standing are eligible to have that ballot count in the election of directors. I'd like to ask Tom Monty, how many ballots were received for the 2020 election?
1,116.
To repeat that, it was 1,116 ballots were received. And now I'd like Tom to hand over the results to our Secretary, Peggy Gilbert, who in turn will hand them to me. And if we could change the room out now so that the candidates are in the room.
We're supposed to come in now. They have to leave. Where should we stand?
Just, we'll call you up when you win.
Oh.
They're coming. We have 4. And again, I'll repeat with us today.
Slow down.
And again, I'll repeat with us today, we have Rick Wolf, Jim Rosania, Irving Joffee, and Devine Lutz. And I'm going to open this and find out the results. From CRI, they basically state, we have verified the number of packets mailed to property owners on record. We have collected, sorted, and tallied all packets received in accordance with the governing rules of the FHPOA for the election of the Board of Directors. We have provided the board with the number of packets mailed, number of packets timely received, as well as those received after the deadline, the number of eligible and ineligible packets received, and the number of valid and invalid ballots cast in the election. The election results are Irving Joffee, 581 votes. Devine Lutz, 373 votes. Craig Myler, 435 votes. Jeffrey Paul, 327 votes. Jim Rosania, 502 votes. Richard Wolf, 381. The highest votes counts go to Irving Joffee, 581 votes. Jim Rosania, 502 votes. Craig Myler, 435 votes. We'd like to welcome the new directors. If they would come up and be sworn in, we'd appreciate that. So would Irv, Jim, and Craig Myler, who's not in attendance, but we will swear in Irv and Jim. And I will step down and let Peggy Gilbert take over.
so we'll use that mic. Okay, you're just going to repeat after me. You're going to state your name, say I, and say,
I, Irving Joffee,
do solemnly agree to
solemnly agree to
abide by the declarations of restrictions
abide by the declarations of restrictions
and bylaws of Fairfield Harbour,
and bylaws of Fairfield Harbour,
and to abide by the restrictions that apply to the POA Board of Directors.
and to abide by the restrictions that apply to the POA Board of Directors.
I further agree
I further agree
to exercise my obligations and fiduciary responsibilities.
to exercise
My obligations.
my obligations and fiduciary responsibilities.
Congratulations. Jimmy, will step up. Repeat after me. I,
I,
your name,
Jim Rosania,
do solemnly agree to
do solemnly agree to
abide by the Declaration of Restrictions
abide by the Declaration of Restrictions
and the bylaws of Fairfield Harbour,
and the bylaws of Fairfield,
and to abide by the restrictions that apply to the POA Board of Directors.
and abide by the restrictions applied to the POA Board of Directors.
I further agree to
I further agree to
exercise my obligations and fiduciary responsibilities.
exercise my obligations and fiduciary
Responsibilities.
responsibilities.
Thank you very much. Before we move on, no, you guys can step back for a minute. Okay, before we move on, I'm going to ask Dan Engelhouse and Gloria to kind of get in shot. Dan? Dan?
Yes.
I need you. Because the community would like to see your smiling face on the camera one more time. So Bruce Heiss isn't here. He will be up here as well. And I just wanted to say just a few words for the people that are leaving the board about them. And Gloria was elected to the board 3 years ago, but she has actually served Fairfield Harbour for 12 years in various capacities, some of which include the Amenities Resolution Team, Strategic Studies Committee. She's also served as a secretary of the board for several years, and she has worked as the overseer to make sure that the bulkheads were repaired and restored. She was very instrumental in working with our general manager, Dan Argentieri, in reaching out to the governor's office to have FEMA remove debris generated by Hurricane Florence, which literally saved the community hundreds of thousands of dollars. In 2019, she was named president of the board, and her familiarity of the POA governing North Carolina statutes 47F and 55A, her knowledge of the history of Fairfield Harbour, her tenacity and research acuity have served us all well. Dan has served as a director, being elected for 2 terms, and he has been very instrumental in spearheading the KCI land use study, the Billy Casper contracts, the Municipality Study Committee, as well as diligently working on a daily basis with safety and security. He recently was instrumental in procuring the contract to finally have the shoreline clubhouse removed, and has worked with Bruce Heiss and the contractor to make that happen. Thank you. Bruce has served as a director, and in his tenure, he has accomplished many things, including researching various means of demolition to the clubhouse, as well as overseeing the safe removal of asbestos from that clubhouse. He served and worked alongside with Roads and Streets and the Stormwater Water Committee as well. All 3 members have worked within the community after Hurricane Florence to secure services and restore a sense of normalcy as soon as possible. They have logged many hours each week during their time of service. I'm getting emotional. I know, it's hard, isn't it? Always looking to the future, to better Fairfield Harbour and serve all of our residents with great care. They've been tremendous mentors to new people on the board, and I know I speak for myself, the Billy Casper team, and the rest of the board, and offering you a very heartfelt thanks. And I personally will miss you.
Thank you. Good luck to all. That sounds pretty ominous.
That was a shock, but however, I'd like to welcome our new directors, and we know full well that they will work hard to ensure a bright future for this community. And lastly, on behalf of departing directors Dan Engelhoff, Bruce Heiss, and myself, we thank you for the opportunity for having served this wonderful community and wish the membership only the best. Be well.